Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Endeavor Rover. This board features Endeavor's multi-camber, which is basically just cam rocker. So you have camber through the inserts, then rocker in the tip and the tail. That camber section is going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive, while that rocker section in the tips is going to give you ease of entry, in and out of turns, more optimal powder float, and a nice big sweet spot to press and butter on. This board is available in 151, 153, 155, 157, and 159. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day that had low to moderate winds, warmer temps, creamy corduroy, soft but yet firm in the shade corduroy, chopped chunder, and a little bit of death cookies, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board comes in just below a middle of the road park flex, nothing revolutionary here. You have more play in the nose and the tail, that is accentuated by that rocker zone. Slightly stiffer through the center of the board with an abundance of torsional flex. At speeds, the tips do flap, that will resonate back underfoot. You want to keep your knees bent on this board. It's very lively, so when you get into rutted out terrain, it can get bucked around. It's one of those decks that if you slam something hard, you're probably going ass over tea kettle. So use your knees like they're shocks. You'll be a lot happier. This board actually has really good rebound out of the tips from the carbon layup. So when you load up the camber section, you roll back on the tail, it acts like a springboard, and it's going to be able to get you up in the air. It's not going to boost you to the moon, but it's got solid snap for the type of board that this is, with it being just a little bit softer. Overall, you're going to be able to hit a side hit no problem. You're going to be able to ollie off a roller. Are you going to be able to ollie off a roller and clear a family of fat skiers? No. Little Timmy, the fat skier that fell down? Probably. When it comes to jumps, small to medium are really its strong suit. You could probably take it to something bigger if you feel confident, but just understand with the softer flex, it's probably going to wheelie out on the landing. The pop is there off the lip. You're going to be able to get it a little bit higher and go out a little bit further, or you can load that camber and let it slingshot you off the lip and let the lip do all the work. That's what I would recommend with this board rather than popping. Just let it kind of compress and then spring at the last minute naturally. You'll have a better time with it. Like this video? Cool, give it a thumbs up. While you're at it, why don't you subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications, that way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for you. Butterability and jibbing. With that rocker in the tips, you've got this nice sweet spot to press into, and then it reacts with the carbon, so when it locks in, you can feel there's a little bit of force. It doesn't fight you, but it gives you enough power to snap out of any butter variation. I also like that tip shape with it just being like kind of more elongated and pointy, if you will. That's just a really fun tip shape to play around on, especially if you butter in fresh snow. So going back to this, you can get this thing sideways, you can manipulate it however you want, and that kind of translates over to how this thing jibs. It locks into presses and it holds to the end of the feature, and then it snaps out totally fine. When you go sideways, this board really cradles around it. There's a lot of give between the feet, and if you're coming from the top rope, it's probably going to clap out on you. But it's got more than enough give, and with it having camber through the middle, it locks in and you're able to slide sideways perfectly fine. Are you going to be able to leave deep trenches doing park carves with this thing? No, it lacks that power from the midsection back through the tail. It won't let you lay it over. But where it does excel is those short, tight, quick carves where you're ankle steering. There's a lot of torsional flex on this board, so you can really do quick setup carves smoothly, and it's very fluid edge to edge. That even goes into medium carves. You can give this a little more gas, get some power, and kind of snap it out of a carve if you need to go like uphill, like maybe you're hitting the side of a jump like a quarter pipe or something that's cut out on there. It's going to be just fine for you. Rider in mind, this board is for the all-around park rider that wants a deck that can do it all, that is just a little softer flexing but still has good response to it. Want to support us further? Cool, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. I really like the shape of this board. It reminds me of the old interior plane project, Hanali, but it has the flex of the Haro, which for a lot of people watching this, they're like, I don't even know what those boards are, but they were some really good park boards. This is a well-balanced board for what it is. It's versatile enough to go around the mountain. The only thing I didn't like was the lack of power in the tail when hard carving. Everything else was fine on this board. The problem is, this board sits in a bloated category. It's gonna probably be overlooked. I'm probably going to forget that this thing exists when I recommend it to people in live streams, which sucks because this is actually a really good board with cam rocker to it, and it's just a fun ride. Comparable boards: the Public Statement, the Roam Artifact Pro, the Salomon Sleepwalker. Binding recommendations: the Bataleon Blaster Asym, the Ride C6, the Union Force. This has been my review of the Endeavor Rover. Looking for some bindings for this but not sure what to get? Why don't you watch one of the reviews for some of the comparable bindings I just recommended?